In this video, I'll be teaching you how to... Well, I can't guarantee success with Monsieur Scarlet, but I can at least give you a lot of advice on how to make this fight as consistent as possible so you can lose less. Monsieur Scarlet can be fought immediately at the beginning of Chapter 3. He has a variety of direct and indirect attacks. Almost all of them are capable of restoring his HP. To start off his lengthy repertoire, he can increase his attack stat for 2 turns. He loses this move once his HP falls low enough or he activates permanent +1 attack because, well, obvious reasons. He has only one attack that cannot steal HP, his Crescent Beam. Ideally, he would consistently use this attack as it's by far his least threatening move, dealing 3 damage in normal mode and 4 in hard mode. He however has lots of other attacks that do steal HP. His basic attack, where he walks up to you and then swings his umbrella at you, does 3 damage on normal mode, 4 damage on hard mode. This attack also restores Scarlet's HP. By how much? Well, we'll get to that later. His heavy strike, where he dashes towards you to swing his umbrella at you, does 4 damage on normal mode, 5 in hard mode, and has the added effect of lowering your attack stat by 1 for a turn, even through Bubble Shield. Both of those attacks are direct, but those are also his only direct attacks. He can also blow a kiss. Yes, really. It does 3 damage on normal mode, 4 damage on hard mode. Additionally, it drops your defense stat by 1 for a turn. Amongst his most dangerous attacks, however, is his Umbrella Boomerang. It does 3 damage when flying towards you, 2 damage on the way back on normal mode, or 4 damage on then 3 damage on hard mode. The damage you take total from the attack determines how much Scarlet heals when it catches it back in the return trip. All of these attacks, with the exception of the Crescent Beam, heal Scarlet for 50% of the damage dealt rounded up. So if he does 4 damage, he heals 2. If he does 5 damage, he heals 3. However, once his HP drops below 50% on normal mode or 65% on hard mode, his stance will change, which increases how much HP he restores upon attacking you from 50% to 75%. So for example, if he does 5 damage, he then heals 4 HP. He then has one more attack, which is also an AoE attack, and this is not a move that he can only use in the second phase. He can use this whenever. His Blast. It hits everyone for 3 damage on normal mode, 4 damage on hard mode, and he restores HP equal to the damage dealt to your entire team combined. This heals up to 8 HP total. Monsieur Scarlet, in addition to boosting his attack permanently, can also boost his defense permanently once he falls below 40% HP. This is exclusive to hard mode. If his HP increases above the threshold for him to activate his buffs, he will lose his extra attack point the turn after he attacks you again, but his defense increasing by 1 remains permanent, so be swift. Now that you know your opponent, let's talk about some options to deal with him, at least on hard mode. Now Scarlet has moves to fit basically every situation that you can put him in. Back support can be rendered ineffective thanks to his Blown Kiss, his Blast ignores Taunt, and Spiky Bod won't work against most of his moves as 3 of them are indirect. Realistically, the only surefire way to win this fight is to cut off Scarlet's ability to heal from you. You can fight Scarlet before even entering Lost Sands, so your options are extremely limited. But just heading through the Lost Sands and reaching Defiant Root will give you a monumental advantage upon when you claim Leaf's signature move, Bubble Shield Light. It's an incredible move for this fight, go get it. Blocking all damage directed at one bug, this move is super good at constricting Scarlet's biggest draw. By extension, having Kabu Taunt with Favorite One equipped makes it so that even when Scarlet's defense is boosted, we can very reliably power through the defensive Hurricane Toss. You're pretty free to just take your time and pummel Scarlet at your own leisure. Crispy Donuts also become available to you, and costing only 8 berries and restoring 12 TP per use, you can easily overwhelm Scarlet as well as most bosses with largely single target attacks. Even if you have bad luck with Leaf's Frigid Coffin, you are near guaranteed victory with Bubble Shield Light, and it's super cheap in MP cost as well, since the only medal you really need is Favorite One. When your TP runs low, just have V use a Crispy Donut. Her charge status will carry over next turn, so she will just do more damage the next time she does attack. The only move that Scarlet can use that potentially can jeopardize your strategy is his AoE Blast, and even then, he'd have to repeatedly attack you with the move, which you otherwise can simply block even with regular blocks, and keep your head above water and his healing down. If I had to present this tactic in a move-by-move guidebook, It'd be to taunt with Kabu, leave Bubble Shield Light on Kabu, have V spy on him, you know, for completion reasons. Then if your TP is below 8, have Kabu taunt again, Bubble Shield Light him again, and use V's turn to eat a crispy donut. The next turn, now you're ready to attack. So have V Tornado Toss, taunt, Bubble Shield Light, effectively just repeat the last 2 turns until Scarlet goes down. And try to resist the urge to rush, okay? If you do, and you don't have to TP for Bubble Shield Light, you'll have to block to minimize the healing effect that Scarlet has from attacking you. And if Kabu goes down, you're on your own. I guess you could use Magic Seeds in case you screw up, but then you have to get back into the rhythm of using the right moves of your TP, and it's just an utter mess. Just play slow and steady, you'll almost always win. You may be asking, what if you wanted to fight Scarlet before even heading into Lost Sands? Don't. Unless you're a speedrunner, you have absolutely no reason to do that. And unlike you, speedrunners know what they're doing when trying to juggle speed and reliability in a game as RNG heavy as Bug Fables. But if you want some other ideas, here's a few I came up with. So let me preface this by saying that with how early in the game you can fight Scarlet, there really aren't many more options I can suggest in Chapter 3 since the Underground Tavern is off limits, and Shock Trooper is not an option until after Chapter 3. But if you feel like you can't handle the Wasp and Bandit ambush for whatever reason, and just really hate your money, you can try to invest in back support and Frigid Coffin. I try to avoid suggesting strategies that rely on luck, but you can get a good few free agents with Leaf, and some extra items like Abominations and Leaf Omelets go a very long way if survival is your priority. Just make sure Kabu has at least 11 HP. Drowsy Cakes can also be great, but you'll want to keep sleep resistance on Kabu also, and a steady stream of TP recovery and keeping Kabu out of danger. And if you're playing with certain conditions to make the fight harder, then yeah, listen, just beat the Bandit and Wasp ambush, it's well worth it to get both Bubble Shield Light and Crispy Donuts. To summarize, your best ways of beating Monsieur Scarlet involve either patience with when you opt to freeze him, or abusing Leaf's defensive abilities, Kabu's redirection, and V's multi-striking attacks working together. Scarlet may be a soul-sucking freak of nature, but it's high time you sent him packing. So go out there and disarm this trap with some good old-fashioned tri-arm justice. Upon victory, you unlock the Underground Tavern, and it's here you can get some really good medals, receive rewards for bounty fights, and take place in the prestigious Spy Cards game. If you're interested in that, consider subscribing down below because that video will be coming out by the end of this month. I really want 500 subscribers because I really want my community tab and I need your help to get there. Please, thank you. This is Phantom A, signing out. I'll see you next time for my next video. Now go watch more of me.